Welcome back, nerds. It's been a while since we filmed a review, but I watched this movie and I feel like I need to talk about it as the resident horror fan here. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 2022. Much like Halloween and Scream, this is just called the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And it's supposed to be a sequel. So much like Halloween and Scream, there were sequels, but they were also like just named the first name of the movie, you know? This movie, I have a problem. I have a problem with this movie. But we'll get into the good stuff first. So the good stuff is, if you're a fan of horror, if you're a fan of gore, if you're a fan of blood, this is the movie for you. Fun, but it stops there. A point in this movie where you have to like kind of take yourself out and be like, dude, this is a serious disservice to the franchise. Now I know this franchise, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's been rebooted, it's had its sequels, it's had its weird like musicals as far as I know. I don't know, I've never seen that one. But some of them are good and some of them aren't even worth looking at. Basically the movie is about these teenagers that come into Harlow, Texas, I think that's the name of the town, and they basically are going to breathe new life into the town through their pop-up shops and their restaurants and whatever, like, you know, real like Zennials trying to like get away from the big city. When they go into one building, they meet this woman who's the caretaker of Leatherface and startle her to a point where she kind of dies, which sets off Leatherface. And so Leatherface goes off on this murder spree pretty much. Like the other Scream and Halloween movies that are been redone recently, there's a legacy character that comes back, Sally Hardesty. Now she's supposed to be the one who survived at the end. This is Rad. This is my son. He wanted to be part of this video. Okay? Do you want to tell him about the movie that you didn't see because it's highly inappropriate for a child? I'm sorry, you'll just have to excuse his presence. I don't care. The movie goes on and they have this legacy character, Sally, who comes back and she's all gung-ho like, oh, I'm gonna kill Leatherface once and for all. It's been 50 years or whatever the heck. And she's in the movie for like 20 minutes maybe total. Maybe? The movie's not very long. The movie's an hour and 13 minutes, so I'm sure she's in it for like 15 minutes maybe. After a while, everyone's kind of dead and it leaves like two of the protagonists and Sally Hardesty. Yeah. So Sally Hardesty ends up getting the chainsaw shoved through her chest and he turns it on and it just like blood and guts and gore everywhere and then thrown into like a pile of garbage. I don't know what these writers were thinking. Like a little bit later, like 5 minutes later, she gets a shot off on Leatherface and like shoots him in the shoulder or something. And I was like, dude, no, you don't get to do that. You don't get to shove a chainsaw up someone and like just freaking turn it on. Like, you're dead. Like, you're breaking the rules of horror here. Like, that's happened, like an ex machina, but not to this extent, not to this like unbelievable thing. Like, that's what kind of made me hate this movie, is that there's so many things that happen in this movie that you're just like, no. Okay. Anyway, that's all I've had to say. Thank you, Rad, for... Yep, light. Thank you, Rad, for joining me. Thank you for joining me. And we'll see you again for another review.